You want to talk about it? I'd rather laugh about it. Let's get a little dark about it. On the Traumedy Show. Welcome to the Traumedy Show. I'm your co-host, Rachel Wilford.
And I'm your other co-host, Megan Wilford.
And today we've got a really awesome guest, and we're in her amazing studio, Derek Taylor.
Oh my God. Thank you for coming to my studio.
Oh, thank you for having us.
You guys, it is so cute in here.
So
Aww,
cute.
Thank you.
Yeah, we would happily trade our measly pink couch.
I know.
For your studio.
It really is just like a girly pop dream and a girly pop nerd girl dream. Like I keep seeing like new little Pokemon things and adorable Disney things, and it's so cute.
It really is. And we have a Cosmoe.
We have a Cosmoe.
Hi, how's it going? I'm Cosmoe from the Cosmoe Show.
We have 4 people right now on this podcast.
And we've never had 4 before.
No, and we're interviewing from LA too.
Yeah.
Ew.
We're moving up in the world.
This is a Traumedy Show first.
Here's our Traumedy Show milestones that are happening right now. Do you want to tell them how we know Dare?
Yes. Okay. So, well, I've been following Dare on Instagram for a while.
Poor thing.
No, I mean, I've been a fangirl of Dare's for a while now, so it's kind of cute that I'm like, wow, I'm like gonna get emotional all of a sudden.
I have tissues if you need.
I don't know why I just had this moment where I was like, whoa, yeah, I have been following you on Instagram for like, I don't know, 5-6 years or something. Like,
Really?
yeah, dude.
Oh, shit.
No, I'm like one of the OGs.
Truth's coming out.
And especially when I got into cosplay 4 years ago with my ex-husband, I remember I saw you at cons. Like I've seen you at LA Comic Con and WinterCon. And I remember back in the day being like, oh my God, that's Dare. Kind of nervous. And then like to the point, I think I might have introduced myself at one point at a con.
I remember.
Oh, do you remember when you met me?
I do.
When was
Oh,
it?
cute. You came up to me at LACC because I was at a booth. And you were
Was
like...
that the first time I met you?
I think so.
I think, okay.
That's the first time I remember. Because you may have said something to me before at a different con. But
Yeah,
when you
yeah.
wear wigs, it's like,
Totally.
what?
Yeah.
Who? Ugh.
Yeah.
So I literally didn't even know you were a brunette.
Oh.
Till today.
Wait, really?
Till today.
Oh, I love
I thought
that.
you were going to walk in with like shadow roots.
Oh yeah, I always have different hair, and that's the fun thing about
Yeah.
cosplayers. I do remember introducing myself to you at LACC. I think I had maybe taken some photos with you before or something, but
Probably.
I was with my ex-husband, and I was like, I'm gonna go talk to her.
I totally remember that moment. Like you
Oh,
both
yeah.
were so cute, just like, hey, oh my God. And I was like, what? Me?
Yeah, we
It
were
was
like,
really cute.
we were little baby cosplayers at that point. Our account grew me and my ex like pretty fast, pretty quickly.
Yes.
And then we broke up.
Rip.
But so that's how I know Dare, just from
Yeah.
over time. But then over time and seeing you more cons, and like I remember seeing you as Froppy once. And
Yeah.
then I remember you invited me to your birthday party, not this year, but the year before. And it was like literally right when I just left my ex-husband. And I was like, this is not a good time. And then this year when you invited me again, I was like, oh my God, yes.
She's like, Rachel, oh my God, I got invited to Dare Taylor's birthday party. And I'm like, who? And she's like, I'm going to see if I can get a +1.
Yeah, well, because I like have like a friend crush on you and I'm like, oh my God, this is because I just really like your content and your cosplays, and I can tell you're just actually such a genuine, cool person. So
thank you.
I'm outing myself as having a big girl crush on you for a long time now, but that's how we know Dare.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I didn't know like 80% of that. That's so cool. Cause like I always thought you were so cool. And I was like,
Stop
I really want to
it
hang out
right
with her. I
now.
really want to get to know her. But like we'll get into my trauma later.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I have like friend trauma. So
Aw.
I have a hard time making friends, especially like girlfriends, and that's a whole story.
Yeah.
But like it was such like I knew and I like trusted you from the minute I met you. Like I don't know what it was about like your energy or like your sincerity, but I was like, man, this girl is so cool. Like I want to hang out with her. I want to be friends with her. But then we just like never really connected.
Yeah.
Right in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like we didn't hang out all the time. I didn't like run over to your place or anything like that. But honestly, that's how I think the best friendships start, is where it's like kind of slow.
Yeah, and I think because I was also with my ex-husband, and like we were very much cosplay couple, so I didn't hang out as much with other cosplayers, and I think that kind of held me back a little bit from making friends in the community, because then I always was like at an after party at the con, my husband and I would go back to the room, or like we would go do our own thing. And so I think just this last year and a half of like I'm going to start my own account and I'm going to like actually make friends and try to get into this community more. So I think I've made an effort to put myself out more and like actually get to, and not just rely on like my ex.
Yeah.
That's healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and my partner do the same thing. We're
Oh,
like,
good.
we're like, we're in like different areas. We'll be in the same party, but she'll be over there. I'll be over there. And it was like, she's like, I'm gonna go upstairs. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna stay down here for a little bit.
Yes.
And then bada bing.
That's so good.
Yeah.
That's so healthy. That's what Megan and I do.
Oh, yeah.
When we go to parties and stuff together, like we don't talk to each other.
Nope.
Divide and conquer.
Literally.
Yeah, and then we like debrief the next day.
I mean, I think that's kind of a common couple thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like my ex-husband and I, like at least within the cosplay community, I feel like we didn't branch out enough. So if anything, that maybe would have been why. I feel like I didn't really have genuine friends in cosplay probably until like this last year when I have been doing it on my own.
Yeah.
So then I was like so excited.
It's such a weird thing too, because like when I first started doing cosplay, like if you're the new person, not a lot of people like run to want to work with you. Like it takes a lot of time to see if like, is she into this because it's a fad?
Right.
And I think a lot of people saw me being a cosplayer, especially out here in LA. I think they saw it as like, this girl's just buying shit off Amazon and showing up. When I did MegaCon in like 2018 and I still walked. So it's like, I've been in the game. I just wasn't like known for it back then.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it takes time, you know.
Although we're so happy to be here now. Like it's kind of a surreal moment. And then we do want to talk a little bit about your birthday party because that is where
that's where I met you.
Yes. Do you want to start with that?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So the infamous birthday party where Bullseye and I met.
Yeah.
She's the one that orchestrated the whole thing.
If they break up,
warning, trigger warning. If they break up, do not blame Dare Taylor. It's not
Dare's fault.
No.
We'll give you diarrhea. Just kidding.
But if they get married, then it's because of
You will officiate.
I've never been to a wedding before, so that was great.
You've never been to a wedding before?
Girl, all my friends are like, all my friends are older than me, which is like super cool because I'm the little sister.
Yeah.
But none of them are married because they're all in the sex worker community.
Okay.
So like they all are either started married, so they're not going to do another wedding.
Yeah.
Or they're dating someone, but they just don't
get married.
don't have kids,
Yeah.
don't, you know? So it's
Okay.
like,
Yeah.
I've never been to a wedding.
Oh my god.
Well, Rachel's planned too.
What?
She's the expert.
You'll be at my third, and so will I. So will I.
And you can be at my second wedding.
I'm so excited.
A Traumedy Show wedding.
Yes.
Yes. Sponsored by Dare Taylor.
And you'll
Girl.
officiate Rachel and Bullseyes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent.
So I just threw the party, and I barely knew Bullseye. That's the thing.
That's funny. Yeah.
Is that I was the noob in their content creator group. Like I've only collaborated with them twice.
Yeah.
And that was like the second time I went over. And even then I was still like kind of shy because there's this like big content group that like they kind of circle jerk, as I like to call it. And they all get together. They don't actually circle jerk. It's a euphemism. But they all get together like twice a week and create content. And I had been in their group like 2 years ago. And then they just like completely didn't ask me back. And I didn't get offended by it because like I was busy, they're busy.
Yeah.
But recently I was like, can I come back and do some more? And now I'm going back 3 times this month.
Oh, wow.
So
Awesome.
my big dick energy is paying off.
Nice.
But I barely knew Bullseye because they had replaced that character with Bullseye. So when I first went, that character was somebody else.
Okay,
And they
interesting.
all hated that character.
Oh,
Like, not the character, but the guy. So when the party was happening and you had came up and asked me, like, so tell me about Bullseye. I was like, I barely know his name.
He's just here.
I even gave you the wrong name.
Oh, I think you did. Yeah.
Yeah, I said something very different than what it actually was. And I was like,
funny.
wait, hang on a second. And it was so embarrassing on my part. But
I think I even told you, like, he looks exactly like Rachel's ex-boyfriend. And she's over there playing darts with them. And I came over and I was like, look at them. What's happening?
And I was like 2 Moscow mules in, like, what?
Like,
I'm going to sing at the bar.
Yeah,
okay?
my coronation's in a second.
Yeah. I was like, who?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This to set the scene, this is the like Renaissance fair kind of the Merry Wives of Windsor were playing. It was like Ren Fair birthday party vibes.
And you were in the most gorgeous dress and a crown.
so
Thank
pretty.
you.
Yes.
Amazon.
Yes.
I'm so sorry
really?
I missed that one.
Oh my gosh.
It was so fun.
I know. I was like, before, I was like the chef. Because she had a backyard with like a grill and whatnot. And this year I just couldn't do it because I was Where was? Miami, right?
You were in Miami doing some Saber stuff.
Yeah.
Saber
Wow.
stuff.
Yeah,
I
my
love
show is
nerds.
sponsored by a Saber company, and they
That's so cool.
they flew me out just to do interviews and network and
What a reason to not go to a birthday party.
Yeah, that's so
I'm in
cool.
Miami doing Saber stuff.
I mean, it
Can't
was.
make it, so
It's
sorry.
it doesn't happen every day, so
No,
I'm
it
like,
doesn't.
all right. But I didn't know it landed on the week. I'm like, damn, I'm gonna miss birthday.
Yeah.
That'll be my third one. My third one in a
Oh,
row.
no.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Well, you can come to SpongeBob party.
Yeah.
You'll be my plus one.
Yes. Rock
love
on.
that.
Rock
SpongeBob
on.
party in February.
Yep.
Yeah.
February.
Yeah, it's in a while. But
Who-
I plan my birthdays like a year in advance.
Okay, cool. Well, my
Yeah.
birthday's in
As you
February.
should.
What day?
Really? What day?
February 8th.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm the 20th.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
some early Pisces.
I plan big parties too.
Nice.
Yeah. And themes. So it's gonna be a party month.
Yeah.
Okay,
well,
you guys are invited. Totally. Hell
What
yeah.
else is there to do in February,
Just pretty much.
Eat heart-shaped pizzas.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love.
But that was the birthday party, and now we know Bullseye and Rachel are hitting off and everything. But I was excited to have Dare on because she also has a podcast.
Yes.
I do.
She's also a cosplayer. I'd love for you to just like introduce yourself, maybe to start, and for the people who don't know who you are, where they can find you. What are all the things that you do?
Yeah, that's a great time for me to monologue.
Yeah.
So I run a podcast called Delulu Canoe Podcast, which the idea for the name came from one of me and my besties. We were talking about how people look at us and think we're crazy or Delulu because we really like are in a canoe rowing upstream against all the odds when it comes to acting, content creating, being a woman. So when that phrase came up, I just really grabbed onto it. Was like, Delulu Canoe is such a weird name, no one could forget it. So I started a podcast, and I have like all of my best friends on. They come on, and then I also have Cosmoe, who helps me produce, and it just makes for a really great community and a really great time for us to just talk about things that make us Delulu. I feel like on social media we're taught to be perfect and to only post like the perfect versions of ourselves, so I wanted to create a space where people could kind of vent but also just get things off their chest that make them a little Delulu. So I run that every Friday. We film, and then every Monday our episodes go up. But in my other spare time, which I don't have a lot of, I'm a full-time actress. I have a film on Amazon Prime right now that's number 5 for the LGBTQ, where I play a character named Rain. So it's doing very, very well.
Cool.
Despite the title, it's not as porny as you might think. It's actually a really deep and dark drama. It's like a love story. So I'm really proud of that work.
Aww.
But then I also cosplay. I go to conventions all the time. I currently have an album that is coming out where I wrote 9 songs, 9 originals, and 1 cover. So I'll be trickling that out as I go. Gosh, what else do? I do so many things. So if you just follow me on Instagram, I'm always just posting all of the different things. I have another YouTube channel called Dare Wears where I focus on fashion. I'm always working, and I love working and love content creating. So
Love it
that's
what
a
you
little bit
do.
about me. Yeah.
That's nice.
I'm originally from Minnesota. I'm not from California. So I've got that like Minnesota vibe, I guess.
Oh,
Where I
I'm
just
from
love
Idaho,
people.
and I feel like from the people I know from the Midwest. Wait, is Minnesota in the Midwest?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I almost just outed myself. I'm like,
I mean, you
Where-
kind of did.
I did. I'm like, wait a minute.
I've never been to the Midwest, but from what I hear, similar. I've been told it's like similar vibes to Idaho. Like Idaho is the Midwest of the West Coast.
Oh yeah.
If I could, so me trying to relate to you.
No, yeah, I get it. I get the vibes. Like truly.
coming from a smaller state.
Yeah,
Wholesome,
like conservative.
Yeah.
Which we, it's a journey. It's definitely a journey.
Yes.
I lived in Florida for a couple years. I worked for the Walt Disney World Company, Medieval Times, and Universal Studios all at the same time.
Oh my gosh, fun.
I've been a theme park girly.
Uh-huh.
Had an article that went viral because I went from being a entertainer, friends with Disney characters, to only flapjacks, or AKA only fans. So I do that, but I really preach like positivity and like doing what you love. As opposed to like doing things for money or for financial gain. But that's a little bit about me.
I love that.
Yeah, I like doing a bunch of different things. I don't have ADHD, which I've been asked a lot if I do.
A lot of creators I feel like end up, or like artists do. But you do have a lot.
I have dyslexia, so it's a little bit different. Reading, writing, comprehension. So, and if I spell things wrong, that's why. But yeah, that's kind of my mixed bag of what I do.
That was a great pitch.
Yeah.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, it was.
I used to do pageants.
Oh my god. So we do want to introduce Cosmo though
Yes.
as well, because
Yeah.
he will be interjecting on this podcast. He is the male voice that you hear.
All right.
You want to give a little bit about yourself, a little intro?
My name is Cosmo. I'm a jack of all trades. I used to be in a band, had an album, a little sign. They got dropped, and then acting here and there, and now I have a show, podcast if you will, called The Cosmoe Show, where I interview people in the world of cosplay and creativity. Give you an insight on what skill sets there are out there, what other avenues to make money, or just to like survive off of, or just brand yourself. So I have a lot of guests on there that do like stuff independently or in the industry, you know, actors and whatnot, and we just break down the pros and cons and the do's and don'ts. That's a great show, educational. It's The Cosmoe Show on YouTube. And other than that, bartender, Cypher Night for LOJ. It's a masquerade ball. Yeah.
Love it.
And
Awesome.
and a cosplayer. And yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
We love cosplayers. I love the name Cosmo Show and Delulu Canoe. They just both sound really good and they're easy to remember.
Aw, thanks.
Rock on.
Yeah.
Rock on.
We killed it with branding.
Yeah.
Yes, we did, actually.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, and Jackie's Kitschy Kitchen is coming out soon. It's a cooking show, a nerd cooking show. On the Cosmo channel, yeah.
Love.
Yes. Well, so our podcast is called The Traumedy Show. And we, as you know, as our listeners know, but we want to talk to you. I mean, really about whatever you want to talk about. We've had so many people share different relationship stories, career stories, maybe a challenging time in your life or whatever you want to get into. But we like to talk about sometime maybe something difficult or hard that might have happened or whatever you want. But we also do it in a light, funny way. So,
Ooh, okay.
yeah. Where do you want to start?
I have so much trauma that I had to think really hard about what I wanted to talk about because I have done and been through a lot, which I feel like we all have. Goodness, this is gonna be a lot. But I had a stepmom for many, many years that deeply seated within me my fear of blondes. So
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. She says, looking me directly in the eyes.
It's okay. It's okay. I've been to therapy. So I'm actually currently in therapy. But
We
love
love therapy.
yes,
Our
that
last
makes me a
guest was a
sticker.
therapist.
Yeah.
We've had 2 therapist guests now.
And one of them was my ex-fiance's ex-girlfriend.
Oh,
who's also
wow.
a therapist. Sorry, I don't know why that was so hard for me to say.
I mean, it's
yes,
it's
it's
not
a mouthful.
normal title.
No, it's not. But yes,
It's a
we love
long-
therapy.
Yes.
Yeah, shout out to therapy.
Get you a therapist. This episode's sponsored by. Just kidding.
Yeah.
I wish.
No, we
Yeah.
say that all the time. God. Sponsored by therapy.
Oh,
for
I
sure.
love that.
Yeah. So therapy for your fear of blondes.
Yeah. So when I was like 16, I was in this situation where I no longer lived with my mom. And my mom was like my best friend growing up. And she brought in a compromising man at the time. And he had said something or done something to me where I finally called my real dad and was like, hey, what would you say if this was happening to me in our home? And that same day, the cops came into our house and like took me and my brother out.
Oh, wow.
And we no longer lived with my mom. And that to me was like a whole nother traumatic experience, is like growing up with your mom being your best friend and then not. But then I lived with my dad and my stepmom, and she already had daughters of her own. So I was kind of living in this home where I felt like I didn't really belong. And so in order to keep myself busy, I delved into like theater, and I got like 7 jobs at one point to keep myself out of being in that home.
Like when you were in high school?
Yeah.
You had 7 jobs?
Yeah, I was, well, high school graduating into college is
Okay.
when I finally,
Yeah.
because then I had more time to grab
Right,
other
right.
Oh
jobs.
my gosh.
And
Still 7 is like an insane
Yeah.
amount of jobs. to
Yeah.
have. Oh my gosh.
there was even like a newspaper article that like came out about me when I won Miss Teen Minnesota because I like had worked so many jobs.
You won Miss Teen Minnesota.
I was.
You're just like the most interesting person ever. Okay.
I lived a very strange life. Like it feels like not even me anymore because it's so long ago.
Yeah.
But my stepmom, like at first when she found out that my stepdad had hurt me, she was like, my ex was terrible to me and like he was awful. So she like really wanted to foster this great relationship. But the day that I turned 18, because like you don't just sue somebody in a heartbeat. It takes time to like grab your lawyers and do all this stuff because we were gonna, you know, go against my stepdad with my mom.
Well, okay, wait, hold on, back up. So your
Yep.
stepmom was not with your stepdad. dad, right?
She was with my dad.
Okay,
So
okay.
Stepmom and dad in the same house where she
Left.
moved to.
Yeah. So it was my mom and stepdad, my dad, and my stepmom.
Okay.
So my parents got divorced when I was 3. So
Got it.
I never, I mean, I know that they were together.
Trauma from an early age.
I don't really remember them. Yeah, which is why I'm not married, you know? Because like,
Yeah.
watched both my parents remarry like 3 times.
Got it.
So
okay.
I was living with my dad and stepmom. And when it came down to like, okay, are you going to sue your stepdad? I decided not to because I knew later on in life I wanted to have a relationship with my mom. And
Ooh, that's hard.
so then that's when my stepmom completely changed and was being a completely different person. And she went from like encouraging me to saying that like I had to pay for all my own theater things since I got all my own jobs. Once I graduated, she was basically like just starting issues with me, saying that like, why do you do theater when you're not even like the main character? Why do you have all these jobs when like you're not doing very well at them? You're not making a lot of money, and just like really tearing me down. And it instilled this fear in me of, for some reason, blonde women. Like that's the thing that stuck with me the most.
Was she blonde?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I eventually was homeless because she threw me out and my dad didn't do anything about it. He went to work. It was on Martin Luther King Day. So I remember the day. And I remember that night watching
How old were you?
Disney
Sorry.
Channel. Oh, I was 18. So it was
Okay.
legal. It was legal for her to like kick me
But
out.
holy shit, you're an 18-year-old.
Barely. Just
Like
barely 18.
you're 18-year-olds are like kids. I don't know. You
100%.
really are not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree so much so that
Yeah.
like it didn't feel right. Like I didn't feel like, oh, I'm 18, I'm an adult, I can live on my
Right.
own.
No.
Like I had no apartment, I had no place to go. It was just like me and my shitty car that I had
Yeah.
bought with my money.
Yeah.
And the night before I was kicked out, the movie Cinderella was playing. And it was the scene where the stepsisters are tearing all the stuff off her and she goes out into the garden to cry. And I remember being so emotional because the fairy godmother swoops in and saves all of her problems. And I remember sitting there in that bed knowing that I was going to be homeless the next day, that like no one's going to come save me. No one's going to come help me out. Like this is a situation I have to figure out. And I did. I was able to go from like living out of my car for 2 weeks. One of my friends in college like let me stay in his parents' like basement apartment. And then when they weren't allowed to house me anymore because their daughter got jealous, I met a pageant mom who she had room in her basement. So then I couch surfed after living out of my car for 2 weeks. And I had like no friends at the time. Like I was just trying to figure things out and get through. And I remember getting my job at Disney, and there was a girl who was this really pretty blonde, and she always was so kind to me, always wanted to be my friend. And I just like could not, like that trauma stuck with me so hard that I found myself building up boundaries. And her and I eventually like became friends, but this is before therapy was like accepted. So I just had to do the work on myself and be like, she's not going to be like my stepmom, like all these girls that I work with. Like I'm barely 18, 19 at the time at my job at Disney. And I had such a hard time making friends because I was so scared that they were going to do what my stepmom did. But it was primarily, for some odd reason, the blonde women that all wanted to help me and like were more nurturing. I could not get over that. Like they look like my stepmom. They're going to treat me like my stepmom. They're going to be mean to me. And it was something that I had to be like, wow, I have a problem in the back of my brain where now I associate blonde women with being like my stepmom. And luckily I was able to like get over it, but it's still to this day like rubs me the wrong way that I'm like, why did I hold hair color against women back then? It's just
Trauma
such a weird
works
thing.
in really, I could, as a non-professional therapist, I could totally see why at such a young age, having something so traumatic happening, sometimes something just sticks with you. And then something you least expect triggers you. And like, you can logically know this doesn't make sense. Not every blonde woman is going to be the same, but that doesn't mean your trauma response is going to listen to that.
No.
Yeah.
Sometimes your brain just gloms on to specific things and it's just like, triggers emotional responses that you just can't really help.
Yeah. And I'm glad that I was able to clock it because like eventually there was a lot of girls that worked in entertainment who were blonde that were mean to me. So it did happen where it's like, but it wasn't just somebody who is blonde per se, you know, like everybody, you dislike certain people for certain reasons, but like I was a very outspoken 18, 19-year-old working at Disney.
Yeah.
And because I was so young, I got targeted a lot and had like a lot of bullies while I was there. But for some reason, there was just this girl who looked like my stepmom that wanted to be nice to me. And I was like, I can't be friends with her because I'm scared she's going to be mean. And it was such a weird phase of my life. And I guess now I'm just happy that I'm over it. And I recognize that like, hey, just because one person's mean to you and they look a certain way doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with their personality.
No, but I can validate that response though.
Yeah.
And also it's hard to get therapy. Your comment about like therapy wasn't normalized back then. Hell no, it was. Like as an 18-year-old, I don't think my parents, they didn't put us in therapy, or like it's not affordable. You can't find it with insurance. Like it was not as talked about now.
Therapy was for like crazy people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the
You know?
stigma behind it. It's like as soon as you go to therapy, you're crazy.
Yeah,
You know?
I know.
That's
thank
like
God
new
it's
in the
not like
last
that.
5 years, I would say.
Yeah.
Or like since COVID,
Yeah.
I feel like.
That's when I started therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good point.
Like
Same
a lot
here.
of.
Are you in therapy, Cosmo?
Yeah.
Hell
Yep.
yeah.
We love men in therapy.
Yeah.
It helps, especially with breathing techniques that I go with my therapist, and just how to break things down and not over rationalize it, you know, and then more self-confidence. So it really helped,
Yeah.
because I don't think I would, after the pandemic, I don't think I would be able to do anything that I do now more aggressively, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or how to calm down, how to wake up in the morning and like, new day. Here's my breathing techniques, and it's like a stretch, you know.
Totally.
And now it's implanted in my brain.
That's
And
good.
like,
Yeah.
if I'm like in the bed with my partner, when we wake up, I'm in my head doing it. So I'm always sitting up in the bed doing my counts, and they know.
Yeah.
So they know what's going on, and it's really awesome. It's great. I recommend it. Therapy, just do it.
Do it.
Just
Just
do
We've
it.
do
got a
it.
man on this podcast endorsing therapy.
Only because it's like what I've learned the hard way is our partners or our friends may not have the spoon to take on our own venting. It could be a lot. It could be crippling to our friends and loved ones. So it's best to hire somebody that's professional to do it, because they have their own way of dealing with their own stuff. And therapists go through therapy.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
Yep.
It's best to channel that and vent that to a stranger that's getting paid, that's a professional,
Yeah.
than your friends, because it can, it's really bad.
I think there's such a stigma against men in therapy too. Like I think men typically
Yes.
err on the side of like not wanting to go to therapy for whatever reason, and like a lot of times just bottle things too.
Or like what our dad says, walk it off.
Yeah.
They
Just
bottle
walk
it,
it off.
and then they also put it on their partner.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I was my ex-husband's therapist, or like men sometimes are just like, especially if they end up having a female partner, I think there's this like they put it on that one person. Or, like, you're the one person I talk to all of my problems about. We're really going to a professional, being able to have that opinion and like ways to channel it, but then having a wide community of your friends, your partner, whoever. So it's parents, loved ones.
And sometimes it's a 50-50, because sometimes it's like, oh, listen, I'm going to vent just to get off my chest. I don't want to answer. I don't want to like solution. I just want to say it to somebody.
Yeah.
And that's where a therapist comes in. But now a lot of times the person want to take all that, you know? So
I also really love showing my therapist what I call like my ugly, which is where I don't like to talk about like being jealous all the time on social media, but I've gotten better at like letting people actually see how I am, especially with our podcast. It allows me to actually have a personality and talk about things.
Yeah.
But one thing I love doing with my therapist is just telling her like, I felt jealous today of this person and I don't know what to do with this. Or today I felt angry in this situation. Or this friend and I are in a fight and I don't think I'm wrong, but this is the scenario. And my therapist is so great. Like she has never once, like I call it my ugly, and she's like, no, that's you being human. And she's so good at like giving me the tools of what to say to certain people in certain situations without like writing a script. It's like, okay, that is a way you could talk to them, but here's another option, and put it in your own words. And to me, just having a safe space to allow yourself to be human, or calling it your ugly, is so important, because your friends and you know, acquaintances or work people that you're around could tag you as like, oh, she's a gossip, oh, she
Sure.
likes to talk shit about other people. When if you just talk to your therapist about it, one, you're going to feel better about it. And two, it's going to put you in a better light for work, for cosplay community, for wherever you're going to.
So true.
Yeah.
This is such a therapy advertisement.
BetterHelp.com.
Yeah, right? Please sponsor us. Oh my God.
I use BetterHelp.com. It's
do
easy.
you?
It's so easy.
awesome.
I would schedule it anytime I want. I could pick. I give him I get what I want. Like, you know, somebody that's older, somebody didn't this much.
Yeah.
Yada, yada, yada. And then there's journals. So instead of talking to them every day, I can write in my journal. My therapist will write it and then responds back.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then there's video and there's voice. So
Oh, that's right.
I love it.
Dang.
Ad.
Yeah, right? Just send this to them and be like, look at how good we did.
So when you started working at Disney,
Yes.
I don't know if you want to walk through any other from there or experiences.
Sure.
But,
More trauma?
more trauma or I
More,
am
okay.
curious of I guess how you ended up here now.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Los Angeles or any other key moments you want to walk through in your life. I mean, it sounds like
Sure.
that's a tough growing up
Yeah. I mean,
situation.
I don't like to say that I was spoiled as a kid, but I definitely was. I was my mom's favorite. All the dance class and good Lord, all the dance classes and figure skating lessons. My mom put so much money into me as a kid that in a weird way now as an adult, I'm sort of grateful for the opportunities and for the things that did happen because I don't know if I would be as grounded and as level-headed or understand what it's like to have everything and nothing. It's just really provided me with perspective. No, I don't want to be kicked out and homeless again. I'm good. I don't want anybody to experience that. But I think it really taught me understanding and knowing how to build something out of nothing. Because back then, influencing wasn't a career. I worked at Olive Garden at some point while I was in Minnesota. Loved that job. I was the worst waitress ever though. I was so chatty. I only cared about talking to my tables. I was not very good at bringing them their refills.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was a time. I'm glad I did it though. And eventually in Minnesota, I wanted to move down to Florida. This was 18. I was couch surfing for a little bit and I was entering in the Miss Minnesota pageant while living in the basement and not paying rent at these places. And luckily, one of the people that housed me was a pageant mom. So she was all for it. She was oh, she won Miss Teen Minnesota. We'll house you. You can help teach my daughter for nationals. And I set a goal for myself that if I placed in the top 5 at this national pageant in Florida, then I would move to Florida.
Oh, cool.
Well, I went and I literally lost by 1 point. Okay. It was so rough that I went and I competed for the national title, lost by 1 point because I took a breath on stage that they thought I'd forgotten my intro. It was the most bullshit thing ever.
You're no, I'm just a human being.
Yeah. I literally stepped up, took a deep breath, looked at all the judges, and then said my introduction, which is hi, I'm Dare Taylor from Minnesota, or whatever my intro was.
Yeah.
Lost by 1 point, thought I forgot my speech, which I was bitch, I came all the way from Minnesota. I'm not going to forget my speech.
Yeah.
No.
Regardless, ended up moving because I was second place, and I was oh, close enough. And my mom at the time had moved. As soon as we got taken away from her when I was 16, she moved to Florida and was that's it. Screw my payroll job. I'm going to work at Walt Disney World because it was a big part of our upbringing.
Okay.
We would go every year. It was kind of obsessive.
Yeah.
So she moved and they restarted their whole life. She didn't end it with the guy. She was okay with allowing me and my brother to be removed from the home and was whatever, I love him. Everything's going to be great. Cut to 2 years ago and he had an affair. But that's a whole nother situation. So I then moved because I wanted to go live with my mom. Obviously my dad and stepmom weren't working, they didn't like me. They kicked me out. I was living from place to place and I was I'm just going to go move down to Florida and I'll figure things out. And my mom was you can come live with us. Everything will be great. And the stepdad was still there. And I have screenshots of this Facebook message from years ago where I was if you ever fucking touch me again, if you ever make any weird comments to me again, it is over and I'll be out of not only your life, but my mom's life.
Yeah.
And he was okay, I totally understand. Your mom's been devastated since you left. I want to make her happy. So I thought everything would be okay. I moved in with them, and things they were good at first. It wasn't the best situation, but I was just like renting a small room in this tiny ass apartment in Orlando and just trying to like make it work because I didn't have enough money to like live on my own. Pageants are expensive.
So uncomfortable.
Oh my God, incredibly uncomfortable. Because like my mom never wanted to talk about the situation. She's probably not even happy that I'm talking about it now, but it is what it is. Sorry, Mom.
She may or may not follow the Traumedy Show.
It's fine. Yeah, I'm sure my mom isn't following. But I just wanted to like set myself up properly. So when I moved, I was like, I'm going to live with them for a little bit, like save all my coins. And so I just started working at like all the theme parks. So I was doing like Medieval Times, Disney, and Universal all at the same time to like make ends meet. And at one point, a director saw my Instagram. And that's when Instagram started not becoming a job, but like people had them to like advertise. Like, oh, look at me at this model shoot. Like that was the Instagram model time window.
What year?
Okay.
Like 10 years ago.
I'm like
15?
terrible with years and dates. But like it was before content creator was a term.
Yeah.
It was when every girl was taking like sad bikini photos and calling themselves like an Instagram bikini model. It was like that era.
It was also like it was before Reels.
Yeah, oh, totally.
Too.
Totally
before
Reels.
Yeah.
It was all about like the weird Instagram filters and before like face tuning. Yes. So it was then. And while I was working
all the different black and white filters and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh,
Instagram
so
was
bad.
so much easier back then though.
Yeah, it was easier, but also way more like I don't want to say like cringe. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was cringy.
It was bad. Like some of those old photos. I'm
oh
so
my
glad
God, I would
deleted.
just take a picture of my grilled cheese and
Yeah.
put it
I made a meme of myself as a gnome, and I posted.
Honestly, we need
Yes.
more of that content again.
Can we bring it back?
Really.
More of the chaotic content because now it's like fabricated.
Yeah.
But so I started doing like model shoots, and that's where I got my footing into the model industry. That's when like Playboy found me, so I'm on like a cover of Playboy Slovakia from like years and years ago.
Yeah, that's amazing.
The girl found Jesus, so she quit like last minute, and they were like, "We need a girl.
We need a heretic.
Yeah, we need to hire a hot chick now." And I had just shot with like the photographer that the girl shot with, and then she quit. So he had shot with me, and he was like, "Well, I got these sets from this girl." That was before I was like Dare Taylor. I was just Dare at the time. So
Is Taylor
it's just like when you're like doing model content or like cosplay content, you have like a lot of girls pick like a stage name.
Yeah.
At this time, like I was just going by Dare, and they were like,
I mean, it's a cool ass name.
Well, I mean, that is my name, so
It's
I'll
a
show you
cool-
my ID. It's
No,
literally on there.
I fully believe you, and I've seen people ask you like why you use a fake name or something, or comments like that, which is wild.
Yeah,
But it is also like it's a cool ass name.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom, if you're watching. But you were supposed to kind of like it. You weren't just like one name. Like Adele wasn't a popular, you know what I mean? Like a one name thing.
Right, yeah.
And I always just wanted to go by Dare, but they were like, no, you need like a name and a last name. So then I just picked Taylor because I was like, I don't fucking know, like this works. So I just went by like Dare Taylor, and then that was I did Playboy first, so I'm like credited on there as just Dare. But then I started working with all these other like modeling companies where they would pay you to do photo sets with them, and you had to have like a this name, that name, or like a Sarah Rose, or there's a Taylor Dare, which is kind of funny.
Oh.
She's a porn star. So if you Google me, she might come up. But, so I started doing that. I started just like doing like topless shoots, and then it just like grew out of nowhere where everybody wanted me to like art model for them.
Nice.
And I then booked a trip out to LA because a photographer knew, do you guys know Carlotta Champagne? She's like an iconic, she's in a lot of my stuff.
Probably.
Familiar.
Yeah, she was like huge with Playboy. Like she went to the mansion multiple times.
Okay.
There's literally a comic book. Like, I think Penthouse paid her to model for like their recent comic book that came out. So she's like now like Penthouse comic book superhero, which is so cool.
Love that.
But her and I both shot with this photographer. His iconic line was, "You have the same tits as Carlotta Champagne. You should meet her." And I was like, okay.
Wow, thank you.
I know, twins. So he was like, she houses models all the time. Go to LA. So I was like, okay. Went to LA, like stayed in her house, and there's like a taco joint down the street that like she picked me up from the airport. We iconically like had lunch there so she could like vet me and see if I was like fucking crazy. And her man were like, so tell us about you. Because the last girl they had was actually crazy. And I was like, oh, you know, I'm like from Minnesota. And I was like being all shy. And then they realized I wasn't crazy. And they're like, oh, you can stay with us. It's fine. Like come back to our place. So I did like a model tour, which is where like you stay in someone's home and then you tour around like nearby cities and you shoot with a bunch of photographers.
Oh, so cool.
And while I was doing that, a director found my Instagram and he was like, oh, you're an actor, like come be in my movie. So I met him on that trip, went back home to Florida, and he like called me constantly and was like, you need to come and live in LA if you want to be an actor. And so I kind of like looked at my mom and was like, okay, guess I'm doing this. So right before the pandemic, I finally like came out here, found a like really, really cheap apartment because I didn't know if I wanted to live here forever. I was like, I don't know.
Wait, when did you move to LA then? What year?
2020. So I've been here for 4 years.
Was your mom supportive?
I mean, yeah, she was supportive, but she also like sees all the headlines of like LA girl gets hit by a car, and she was
my
very
parents
scared.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, which is like understandable, but also at the time I was like, I want to go live my own life. I don't want to be living with my mom forever.
Yeah.
And I really wanted out of the situation with the stepdad. Like it was not a comfortable living situation. And I was there for like a year and a half. And then I was like, I kind of want to go do that and see what that's all about.
Yeah. And you were starting to see a lot of success. So you're like, I'm going to take a gamble and do this. Yeah.
Well, and then like Disney, it was great, but I was just starting to get like bullied while I was working there. So I eventually like left there to focus on the other jobs.
By
and
blonde
then
girls?
By like some blonde girls.
Oh,
there was
no.
a girl who like was in the same department as me that like threatened to punch me.
Why? What?
Yeah, it was this whole like I was very like young and just spoke my mind a lot, and then girls would take what I say and like twisted it, and then it would come back on me. And like I take full accountability that I said things I probably shouldn't have said because I was young and dumb. But I still don't deserve to be bullied for it or like threatened to be punched while at work. Like that was a little out of line. So I was just feeling like those sort of things weren't really working out. There was a person who like sexually harassed me at my job where she was showing like around photos of me and my nudies, and not like the top half, but like
Holy shit.
my bit and caboodle down there. And she was showing people, she like paid for it and was showing people on the clock. And
Whoa.
she,
Oh, that's such a snake move.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
be bullies. They be bullies. We have a whole episode where I talk about how sometimes girls are dicks because
Well, that's also probably like,
Yeah.
I don't even know, deeply rooted insecurity, jealousy. Like, what the hell? Why are you trying to tear down someone else? And
yeah, it was a whole. This is why I had like no girlfriends for the longest time because like one, it was getting over the blonde thing, and then it was like getting over like other sex workers coming for me.
yeah.
Because the mentality used to be, if that guy's working with you, that's money I could have had. So back then the community wasn't as like forgiving and like fruitful. It was very like, well, you're booking with him for this rate per hour, that should be my money. So it was more like girls going against each other instead of being like, hey, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. We're all working and we're all doing great. So what does it matter if I'm shooting with him and then you can shoot with him next? Like it was just such a
Toxic competition.
Yeah. I don't know if that's just Orlando or if that was just the time back then.
Yeah.
So things weren't really like fruitful for me in Orlando, and I wanted to have like my own career, my own space. And as soon as I moved out here, despite the pandemic happening, everything like took off for me. Like it's like I moved out here and like the LA magic like helped me. Where most people move out and like sometimes they find hardship or it's
Struggle.
hard to find a job and hard to be successful, and
My
somehow it
ex-husband.
just worked. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Throwing a damn, Cosmo.
oh damn. Spicy.
I moved out to LA the same time as you did.
Really?
Yeah, but it was for my ex-husband to pursue acting.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's why I moved out from Seattle to LA. It was like 2019, and then it was like summer 2019 or something. So a little bit before you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's tough.
Yeah.
but it's not, you already had like the ball rolling at
Hey,
that
you were on
point.
Playboy Slovakia.
Yeah.
So the world is your oyster.
I was a hot commodity.
Yes.
It's so hard because you have to be a go-getter in order to survive out here.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't just doing, like I had a Patreon back then that was just for that content, but I was doing that. I had my YouTube channel, Dare Wears then. Like I had multiple avenues already going in that direction. So when the pandemic hit, it wasn't like catastrophic. It was for my acting because there were no auditions. They were only hiring people that were like ethnically ambiguous. I'm a white girl, so I wasn't getting a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
But it all just like weirdly worked out for me because I had so many avenues.
Well, the pandemic was huge for social media.
That too.
I feel like everything, especially within cosplay and content creation, really went to Instagram and TikTok. And that's also when TikTok took off.
Yeah.
All the millennials who hadn't downloaded TikTok yet were like, what's this app about?
Sleeping.
I love TikTok. TikTok kept me sane during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was getting better at my costuming. And I'm like, where am I going to showcase this? And I'm like, I could take a sound clip.
There's no
I can make this
cons
character
anymore.
come to life.
Yeah.
This will be great. And then, my TikTok blew up. That's crazy.
Oh, that's awesome.
probably-
Rachel had a short stint on TikTok during the pandemic.
Yeah,
Yeah?
I didn't want to stay in my apartment alone during the pandemic, so I went and kind of lived at my family's house for a few months with the rest of my siblings. And my sister was like all about TikTok at the time, and so she and I were just making the stupidest shit on TikTok. It was fun.
I love it though. That's what it was back then.
Yeah.
It was just people making stuff to just get through the fucking day.
Yeah.
It was
Literally.
great.
We
Not
were all
lose their
like
minds.
depressed as fuck and like feeling
Cringe.
through all just like, oh my god, what is going on? We're all just on our phone scrolling and making content.
We're all just like in our homes learning dances, like
Yeah. Honestly.
And
that's
don't
so
forget
true.
sourdough.
oh
yeah.
like
Yeah.
sour bread.
Sour bread, yeah.
like I don't remember that dance.
We're like, wait,
Show us.
sour
You
bread
still
dance.
remember it?
We were all making sourdough.
That was probably when like OnlyFans was really taking off too.
Yes.
Was around the same time.
Oh,
Is that when
totally.
you started getting into it?
Yeah. So when I did my tour across the country, where I like packed up all my shit in my car and drove across with Carlotta Champagne, shout out, she's amazing.
That's a big move.
Yeah,
That's almost as far as you
she
can
moved
get.
from Florida too.
Okay, wow.
So she like flew out to Florida and like hopped in my Honda and was like, "Let's go!" Like she is so rad. Love her to death.
wanna meet her.
And as we were going across the country, that's when COVID started going across. It was like we were fleeing COVID. It
Oh
was
my God.
insane. So when I got out here and I like lived in my tiny apartment and it like finally caught up with California,
Yeah.
that's when I was like, okay, well, now what do I do? Like I have Patreon and it's going okay. But one girl that we met with across the tour was like, are you on OnlyFans? And I was like, well, I had one back in the day, but this photographer told me to delete it. And she like grabbed my face and was like, listen here, I'm making so much money on OnlyFans right now. You need to do it too. And I was like, okay, bitch, like chill out. Like she was so intense. And so when we both got to California, we both made accounts.
Okay.
Carlotta Champagne and I. And so we were like, I don't know what this is all about. And then in like the first month, we were making the same amount that we made on our Patreons in a month. And we were like, what is going on? And then it just kept going up and up and up. And it was like life-changing money.
Yeah.
It was insane, which you couldn't go anywhere and spend it on anything because we were in COVID.
Yeah.
Right.
But it was such a life-changing decision. And I'm so glad I did it because I know like a lot of people have regrets with doing OnlyFans. But I have already like tested the waters and like tested the boundaries on like how far is too far for me. So for those of you listening, I don't do corn or substitute C with a P. I don't know how censored you guys are, but I don't do corn on mine. I just do like a lot of like girlfriend like scenarios, a lot of swimwear content, cosplay, where it's me as like Nurse Joy, like, you know, pretending to take care of you. It's like very ooh cutesy girl stuff.
Yes.
And things had just started like going nuts with OnlyFans. So I went a little bit further than I wanted to. And then I was like, you know, I don't really want to do that content anymore. So I tested the boundaries where a lot of girls get convinced to like test the boundaries and test the waters and keep going. And then they're miserable that all their content is like leaking online. And like, yeah, it affects like them getting a job later on in life or them getting a loan for their house or those sort of things.
Could it
So
really affect something like getting a loan for a house?
I know a lot of girls that can't buy because like
Insane.
their name. Yeah, that's why start an S corporation or an LLC, baby. It'll save you.
Hot tips.
Yes.
Dang.
Well, that just that shouldn't be the way it is.
Yeah.
The world is still very sexist, especially towards women being on top. Like, once it started leaking how much money girls were making, that's when, like...
How can we take them down? Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's when all these companies, instead of them being photographers, rebranded and started making OnlyFans agencies. So now, these dudes that used to run all these, like, porno sites, they now are making agencies and, like, signing girls and, like, getting them opportunities and stuff.
Ew.
And they're taking, like, 10 to 30%.
Well, they're like taking the power back.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I want to take away the money that they're actually making from this.
Yeah. It's a whole problem. Like, I really want to unionize. I want to get all the baddies together and us just, like, start a union. Because if their agents only take 10%, why are porn stars being taken advantage of?
Of course. How has it been with, like, if you don't mind
go for it.
asking, like, the relationship with your family and friends and starting that page, and, like, what has that been like?
Well, when I did Playboy, my mom helped me pick my nudes, so
okay, I love
all
that.
about it.
Love that.
She's joked about starting her own Only Flapjacks, and I'm like, I don't know, like, maybe I don't know. My dad was not against it, but, like, we weren't talking at the time when I first started it. But, like, since I've gone to therapy, I've actually, like, reconnected with my parents on, like, a deeper level. I do, like, forgive them for the stuff that they put me through, but I, like, don't forget what they put me through. My mom choosing a man over me and my brother when we were kids and that whole situation, and my dad for allowing my stepmom to kick me out.
Yeah.
Like, I still totally remember those things, but I also don't hold it against them anymore. Because we've been able to talk things through.
And that's growth, baby.
That's growth and therapy.
That's what therapy does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't forget it. You can't, it makes you who you are.
Right.
And your trauma forms you, but to be able to understand it and not hold it against them anymore, if they are if they have asked for forgiveness and have shown that they're different now, then you can move on.
Well, and with us especially, because, like, now I don't see them every year, so it's, like, very much so, like, social media, and we, like, text back and forth. It's a little bit of a different situation because, like, I can't see if they've made the growth, but the fact that they're willing to talk and, like, willing to grow from it in our conversations is what matters to me at this point. But yeah, my dad, he was not supportive at first because conservative Minnesota, you know, it's a very different situation. But once he found out how well I was doing, he actually helped me find a financial advisor. He helped me, like, vet a bunch of people that now help me make smart choices with my money, and, like, they're the reason I have nice things and, like, I am taken care of. So yeah, we're in a good place. So I'm happy about that.
I love really that even if your dad, that's not, like, his number one thing he'd want or wasn't supportive of it, is still finding his own way of supporting you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, that's growth on a dad's side. I feel like I don't have anything that would compare to that necessarily, but I have seen, like, ways in which my parents maybe don't always approve of like the divorce or whatever, but then they still kind of, like, find their way to, like, even if I don't love what you're doing, I'm still going to show up for you in other ways.
Okay,
and
that's great.
make you know that they still love you.
Yeah.
They don't love what you're doing.
Yeah. Can I ask, are your parents still together?
They are.
Got it. Okay.
So my parents
That's
are
rare.
still together.
That's so rare. That's a rare breed.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine are too.
Wow. What's that like?
Yeah, I mean, we don't know it any other way. My parents are, like, stupid in love. I don't know. Yeah.
So are mine.
Yeah, it's really
so stupid.
It's really dumb.
Stupid dumb.
Stupid love.
Yeah.
No, it's cute. And, like, your parents and my parents also got together really young. My parents were high school sweethearts and got married really young. I was a high school sweetheart and got married. And your parents have been together since college.
Yeah, so our dads are brothers.
Yeah.
And they both married Jennifer Lees. So my mom is Jennifer Lee. Her mom is Jennifer Lee.
Whoa.
They're both Jennifer Lee Wilford.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone knows our names.
That's really confusing. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Or really easy.
Yeah.
Like, how's Jennifer? And you both be like, great.
Yeah. Her mom goes by Jenny. So, like, I call her mom Aunt Jenny. She calls mine Aunt Jennifer.
Yeah.
But
I love healthy family dynamics. I don't have one, but I love it.
And then, like, being one of the first in the immediate family, certainly getting a divorce this last year and a half, I think kind of shook everyone up a little bit.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's a whole.
See, that's why I haven't gotten married or engaged, because I'm just like, nope.
Do you think you ever would want to?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
I want kids, so definitely want a baby at some point, a little baby. But I'm also very picky because I don't want, like, it has to make sense. Like, if the person I date doesn't want kids, then it's a different story. But I haven't really dated anybody that, like, doesn't want kids, hates kids. Like, I grew up working with kids, like, at Disney. So it's like, to me, it's like, of course I want that. That's great.
Yeah. So. How has it been dating in LA?
Well, so good, as I'm single right now. No, I feel like dating in LA is difficult, but I don't know if I would say it's like more difficult than anywhere else. Like, dating anywhere is hard.
Yeah.
I would just say the hardest part is finding somebody who doesn't see me as like a job opportunity or like a clout sort of situation. Like, I've been on a couple dates where somebody was bragging that they went on a date with me, and that to me made me end that situation.
Ick.
He was showing people my Instagram and was like, this girl's head over heels for me. And I was like, we went out once. So I definitely ended that really quickly.
Have you ever tried to date and like not want them to look you up on Instagram first? Or
I mean,
is
that would
to
be
even do
ideal.
that?
But the problem is that like, I believe I'm not a big like dating apps person.
Yeah.
I believe in like going out and meeting people that way and like getting to know their vibe.
At Renaissance themed birthday parties?
Yeah, at Renaissance themed birthday parties.
You know, sometimes that's how it works.
Yeah, or like I go out to like karaoke bars, so it's like I'm kind of one, I don't know that like dating in a bar is a good idea, but like a fun theme bar where there's like singing and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I think that kind of makes the pool that's there more like people that want to go out and socialize, people that want to go out and have fun. I go to a lot of cosplay events and a lot of like big events, so it's like I'm always meeting people, and I'll know the right person when I meet them. Well, maybe not, because I tried to date somebody from a con and that didn't go well, but I just don't know that dating apps are for me personally, because I feel like it's not organic. Like, it's a little bit more fabricated, and for every time they're swiping on me, like, there's another girl that's swiping on them, and I would just rather, like, them see my personality and, like, meet me in person and then build a date off of that, or a relationship off of that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's hard, because I'm making it hard.
Yeah.
But I also
it's hard
just
to
don't
meet people,
settle.
too, sometimes in the wild, or if you don't, I don't know.
I mean, I take acting classes, so it's like I'm always meeting other actors. I feel like I'm always meeting other people where it's like, oh, I'd date you. You're cute, you know? But it just has to, like, make sense. So, but yeah.
I like the dating apps.
Oh, do
because-
you?
Well, I haven't been on them a lot, and I don't know what this says about my personality, but I love having like a little report card, or like so, and I'm such a creep. Like, if I find someone, if I see them, and I'm really picky on dating apps, but if I see their first name, their age, where they live, what their occupation is, I can find them on LinkedIn easy.
Oh, you go to LinkedIn.
Oh, 1000%.
She goes full CIA.
Well, I look up their salary.
Okay.
No, I
Wow.
don't want no scrub.
Yeah, so I think just where I am in my life, and like being 30 and like being wanting someone who's like at my level or something, like knowing their age, what they do for work, what that typically brings. Like, I probably do that too much.
Okay.
Like, ironically, I'll probably end up meeting someone in the wild, and that's how I'll end up doing it.
Maybe. You
But
never
it gives me
know.
anxiety when I meet someone in the wild, and I'm like, how old are they? Or like, wait, what do they do? Wait, what's their trauma? Like, I don't.
Can you also show me 7 of your best photos? And
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of them include fish, please.
Fish. Oh my gosh.
It stresses me out to like meet people organically, or not
really?
not know enough about them going into it.
Okay.
No.
See, I like the mystery.
Yeah.
I like a little bit of like the, ooh, I don't know you, but like I want to go out and get to know you.
Yeah.
My biggest fear though is the like, are we dating the same person Facebook page. Have you heard of that?
Yes.
No.
Yes, I need to put my ex on it.
You need to put your
Ooh.
ex on it though,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Where it's like you put it, I don't think you can put pictures of them though, but it's like, are we dating the same person? And it's a lot of women on this page where they're outing like who they're with and just seeing if anybody else is dating them. So that way they're not starting a second life with someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd probably get a lot with your.
Sure would.
Yeah.
Are you in a relationship, Cosmo? I think you mentioned that.
I am.
Yeah.
I am. And it's pretty healthy, I want to say.
Love it.
We're all like, what's that like?
I mean, the way I look at it is my partner and I are 2 different planets that evolved around the sun, which is the world. So we're like, they could be over there and I could be over there, but we're still connected in some way. And every once in a while we'll have an eclipse. So we're just like, we're here. Okay, we got to go do our thing. And, then we come back around again. So it's like, we're not dependent on each other. We're two different pay grade kind of people. So one's a hustler and one's like just ambitious, and they are really good.
Yeah.
I love that Cosmo has like a space metaphor for his relationship.
Yeah.
As his name is
I
called.
feel like you've already had some like sick metaphors and one-liners already.
I love
Cosmo
metaphors.
spits bars.
Metaphors. That's how I used to write music. Was metaphors. Write a hook by using a metaphor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just works that way. That we have our ups and downs, and we go through it.
Yeah.
We're both in therapy. Well, she needs to get a new therapist because one passed away. It was a hard time for her, but it's like, if she needs space, cool. I'll be over here if you need me.
Got
you know,
it.
I don't want to push any of that stuff. So it's
Yeah.
and then we're still out there. I can still go out there and flirt, which at 42, it's fun. I still got it. Yeah. But yeah, that's about it. Just focus on our own lives.
Yeah.
Because I got to catch up because the pandemic hurt. I
Yeah.
stopped bartending. I was doing that for like 19 years. That was my
Okay.
bread and butter. But the crowd.
Not a lot of bartending during the pandemic.
No, but I
Yeah.
slowed down. My stamina of like being on my feet slowed down, and now I'm doing cons. I'm doing this show. It's
Yeah.
putting me back in that rhythm.
Yeah.
That archaic rhythm of, let's do this. Go in here. Blah 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 blah. And I'm picking up on her because she hustles a lot. She gets flown out to do like hair and makeup and stuff like that. So
Cool.
I'm like, if she can do it, I can do it. I know I can do it. I just take pros and tips from her, and then Dare too. I've been watching Dare, doing Dareware and like handle social media for a long time. So I'm like,
You're also a longtime Dare fan.
pretty much. And then when I found out that a friend of mine was working for her, I was like, wait a minute, this is Dare Taylor. Oh, okay, Dare Taylor. And I went to her birthday party. First birthday party, I'm like,
Nice.
That's how I met you. Is
Yeah.
at my birthday party.
Gosh.
and I was like,
Dare's birthday just brings us all
I
together.
got
yes,
In a
yes.
true cancer form.
It's just I learn a lot from
July 9th,
her.
baby.
I learn a lot from her when it comes to social media and like just being a presence and talking to people, and I get a chance to work with her. It's awesome. It's our podcast is the most calmest where I can be.
Yeah.
I can be like relaxed and safe. And on my show, just like, all right, what are you doing? So what do you get into? Blah blah blah. And I'm like over here and over there, but that's just my two personalities. So, but yeah,
I love that. We all have a little shy in us, and we also have like a big presenter in us,
yeah.
Yeah.
Multifaceted.
Multifaceted
What is it
people.
like to have so much of your life on social media, or like being so, like, what are the pros and cons of having so much of even like your cosplay or how you look or body image or being so chronically online? I know I've like been working through that this last year or two, even how that kind of affects you. Like, what is that like?
Yeah.
Or people know your name or like
Yeah.
in the community. Yeah.
Well, I would say that hate comments don't bother me as much anymore
Yeah.
when it comes to my looks, because I've always been online like in skimpy clothes, and it's really taught me that like somebody's cup of tea is going to be somebody else's like ugh, like everybody's got what they vibe towards, and I'm really good at just deflecting that, being like, well, I'm just not their cup of tea. Like, there's a couple haters that say I'm Miss Piggy, or like they call me a pig because I've got like a cute nose. But
Do they like come back and keep saying that all the
oh
time?
yeah, I got that.
Whoa.
Yeah, people call me Miss Piggy all the time.
Oh my gosh.
But
I'm like a baby when it comes to hate comments, so I get like one and I'm like,
I feel like,
oh my gosh, to have someone who keeps coming back.
oh yeah, definitely. And
Oh.
like, I feel like you just kind of get used to it, where I don't like clap back, I don't pay it any attention. Well, depending on the day. Sometimes I'll go in.
Yeah.
But most times I'll just ignore it because all they want's a reaction. And if I'm not somebody's cup of tea, that's totally fine. Like, I'm not made for everyone. No one is. There's always
Yeah.
going to be people that don't like you for whatever reason. But I used to be very sensitive about like my singing and acting. Like, I was really scared about like putting out my first song, putting out like any clip of me acting. I was like, oh my God, people are going to think I suck. They're going to call me cringe. And eventually I just got to the point where it's like, oh, it's just like how people either will say I'm fat or I'm skinny or I'm short or my boobs are too low or they're too high. Someone's always going to be like, she's a terrible actor. But for every one of those people, there's 8 directors in my DMs that are like, come be in my short film. Come be in this project. So I've just learned that you're not always going to win everybody over. And the people that you do win over are the ones you want to invest your time into. So I've gotten really good at like deflecting, smoothing over, and like building a community. The biggest thing that with the podcast now is that there's a lot of fact checkers out there. So there was somebody who left on our Delulu Canoe podcast. They wrote like, Dare's lying about the situation because I used to follow her when she lived with her mom and stepdad. And I wasn't the person who handled the comment. Like we have an admin who goes through and comments back sometimes.
Is this like on Instagram or YouTube?
It was on YouTube.
Okay.
And there was so much of me that wanted to be like, okay, let me tell you the whole situation and like how it all went down.
Yeah.
But I also don't owe them my whole trauma.
Nope.
Yeah.
So I just chose to let the admin like write a nice, like, I don't speak for Dare Taylor, but I don't know that you should be calling her a liar in this case.
In her own lived experience. So.
Yeah. Like it was a little weird to hear somebody like take my trauma and be like, she's lying about it.
Ew. Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, that was kind of a weird thing to like get up and over, but I feel like I'm already over it. That I'm just like, I don't owe every single person. I don't owe them a DM. I don't owe them a piece of content. I don't owe them a thank you all the time. So I don't know. It's a very interesting situation where people try to turn what you want to express about yourself against you. But I haven't really had a lot of like shyness about being online. And there is always going to be creepers that like go through and like look up every little thing about you. Like there's an age debate on me where people are like, how old are you? And this article came out on you at this time, so this means you're 30. But like they got the information wrong and they have me at my brother's age. So there's a whole debate about everybody like up in arms about how old I am. And at the end of the day, I'm just like, you know what? If you think I'm 30, great. If you think I'm 25, great. If you think I'm 15, that's a little weird. Yeah. But like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest overall thing I take away with being online is as long as you're being your authentic self and you're not hurting anybody, it can be fun.
Yeah.
Did that answer your
advice.
question?
Oh,
or?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, great.
Yeah, and more.
Sometimes I ramble.
No, I love it. Have you had situations that were like unsafe, or have you felt like people have like stalked you or tried to find your address?
I'm sure there's people out there that do it, but I'm really lucky with my like financial advisor. He helped me find somebody that can kind of help hide a lot of information on me that keeps me safe. I got security cameras, so don't fucking try me.
She's also got a Cosmoe.
Yeah, I got a Cosmoe. So yeah, I've done a good job of like keeping certain things to myself and like making sure that I can have peace in my own like sanctuary and I can run away and hide if I need to. I haven't really had like a stalking situation, but I did have somebody who was showing stalking signs. And I actually spoke to them on like a very like adult to adult level, and they totally got themselves in check. And now we're still like friends and still chit chat. So it's all about the way you handle certain situations. As long as you're bold enough to say like, your action is making me uncomfortable. And usually if there's somebody whose intentions are good, they'll be like, I'm so sorry for making you feel that way. How can I fix this behavior? But if they retaliate, like I've had people on Discord write huge paragraphs about like, Dare Taylor said she loved me. And then all of a sudden today she says like, she doesn't want to date anyone and I'm over this, like screw her. If they have that reaction, then you know where the block button is. And you can be like, oh,
Wow.
Yeah, it's a very complicated thing, but we're all adults. I mean, they should be if they're on my page.
Are
like,
we though?
Yeah.
you know, we're all adults. And if somebody just says that you're making them uncomfortable, it's so easy to just go like, I'm so sorry I made you feel that way. Because no one can argue about your feelings. No one can say you don't feel that way. Yep. So I always lead, yay therapist. I always lead with like the tools my therapist gives me and like try to see it from their perspective, because sometimes it is innocent that they just are like, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to make you feel that way. And if they do lash out like that one person did on Discord, you can easily just delete them and just hope that they forget. Like, I'm grateful that I'm as popular as I am, but I'm also grateful it's not to the point that there's a lot of stalkers or a lot of people like trying to attack me.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy with where I'm at, to be honest. So, and avoiding stalkers and those sort of situations.
That's great. That's like great advice too for people online managing. I even have like, I'm only like just barely getting there, but I have some people sometimes in my DMs where I'm like, I should probably employ some of those tactics, or making sure, even just saying like, that comment makes me uncomfortable.
Yep.
I that is hard for me to say as like a little people pleaser Pisces. I'm like,
yeah, I used to be that way until I watched another Twitch streamer do it.
Yeah.
I saw her be like, hey, if you don't mind, don't call me babe. I find that makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You can call me this. And like, I tell people, like, a term of endearment I like is Dare Bear. You can always call me Dare Bear. I find that to be like so cutesy and so less like, hey, sexy. Like, it just has a more like, I care about you sort of vibe instead of like, I'm obsessed with you. So I think anytime you can use the like, that makes me feel a little uncomfortable. Do you mind calling me this? Like, I have to correct people all the time because they think my name's Taylor. And so I'm like, no, I don't go by Taylor. I go by Dare. But
it is in fact her legal name.
It is my legal name. Insert my ID here. Just kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't out me. But yeah, I think like once you get used to the practice, because there's got to be people at cons that will make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And you're allowed to politely say, that makes me uncomfortable. Do you mind if I do this instead? It's always having that offer up. Like, that's what Disney did teach me, is that there's a way to say no without saying no. By saying like, oh, actually, could we pose like this instead? Ooh, that's a great suggestion, but I feel more comfortable like this.
What do you say if someone won't leave you alone at a con? Does that ever happen?
Ooh, this is a spicy one. Yeah, I have. There's a couple people that will like trail me and follow me.
Advice.
Yeah. I'll just pull the whole like, ooh, I actually have to go over here right now. I'm so sorry. I don't really have time to chat. If it's at your booth, it's a little different.
Yeah,
I like
stuck
to
at your
use,
booth.
Yeah, it happens a lot at booths. I like to use the whole like, hey, it's been really nice like catching up with you. I really enjoyed chatting with you. But in order to be fair to other people that want to come up and talk, I am going to have to turn my attention to them. You're more than welcome to buy something, but I'm going to talk over this way. All right. And then they're usually like, oh, okay, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I was taking up your time. Or sometimes they just don't know how to end the conversation. So they're just like, thank God. And they're like, oh, okay, thank you so much.
Oh,
and
they're like maybe nervous.
They just don't know how to end it. Because it happens. Like sometimes I don't know how to end it with other cosplayers. I'm like, how do I get out of this? And I'm like, I'm going to go pee. And then I'm like,
I've used the bathroom excuse certainly many times.
Yeah.
I get stopped at cons like on my way somewhere, and I'm like, oh hey, because I want to be nice. I'm like, oh hey, how you doing? Blah blah blah. And like if I say that, I know that's an invitation to their whole story. And they're going through it. I'm like, yeah, okay. I mean, I'm outing myself right now. But I was like, yeah, I was on my way to something like that. But let's continue this the next time. I'm like that. What are you doing? What are you doing afterwards? Yeah. Let's try to meet up there. All right, cool, man. I'll see you later. It's good to see you. Bye.
Yeah.
Gone. Yeah. Or I'll just tell them to fuck off.
With every.
If I'm in a mood or I'm just like, I don't like this person.
I've never done that, but I have definitely. Even just when I was Princess Peach last time at San Diego Comic-Con, it was so overwhelming. Like, with everyone trying to take pictures with you, and I'm sure you know too, and like, you just have to say no sometimes. Yeah. But it's difficult.
I think it depends on the situation.
You're
like,
so good at it.
I try to write
Very
it
diplomatic.
out. I mean,
very demure.
I really demure. Oh my gosh.
So mindful of the way you talk.
That trend makes me cringe because half of y'all that say you're demure aren't even demure. You don't even know. I'm like,
that's the
is that the joke?
That's the joke. That's the bit.
Then y'all need to lead with more kindness. Okay, because some of you are
true.
saying that you're demure, and I'm like, girl, you were just talking shit about her on a public platform.
That is not cutesy.
It's not cutesy, not
considerate.
demure. But I think like when people are taking photos of you, you're more than allowed at some point to be like, okay, this is our last person because then I gotta go.
Yeah.
But also, you could hire an attendant and have them be the bad guy.
Yep.
That's my favorite out. Make them the villain.
I need one.
Yeah.
What? I mean, you could Farquaad and attend if you didn't want to do photos.
Yes.
You were pretty damn popular when you were Farquaad at San Diego.
Yeah,
I believe it.
yeah. When someone wouldn't leave me alone, I would just tell them I had to go shave my beard.
I gotta go find Princess Fiona and whiz her up.
My 5:00 shadow's looking a little like 9:00. Gotta go.
Well, and you're more than allowed to say like, actually, I'm attending this person right now. I'm helping them out, so I'm not available right now for photos.
Yeah.
Like, do you know Jacqueline Goner?
Yeah.
So she went, what is the one that she does with the red hair and the tiny little outfit and the silver with the hand?
Witchblade.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Witchblade.
Yeah.
Okay, so she was Witchblade at San Diego Comic-Con, which I was like, girl, what are you thinking? Because that's like naked.
Yeah.
And I walked by as Froppy, and
So
I was
good.
not popular as Froppy because I'm totally
Your
like,
Froppy was so cute. I definitely saw your Froppy in person, I think at WonderCon.
yeah. And I do the voice, I do the whole thing. But yeah.
Ribbit, you just talk like in your nose, so you just talk like that the whole time. Ribbit, and you just throw that in there.
But anyways, I walk by because I'm just bit bopping around being all cutesy. She's getting bombarded. And I was like, this girl needs some help. So I just like jumped in without her consent.
And I was like, excuse me, you're up next, Ribbit. You get out of the way, Ribbit. You get in the line over there.
Like I just took control and I touched her sister. I'm like,
Are you okay, Ribbit?
I was like, I'm great. Thank you for helping. I was like, cool. You keep doing your thing, Ribbit. I got the line. So I was just helping her navigate. And then she like had to go. So she gave me like her 5-minute warning. I cut the line, stood at the end. I was like,
She's not available for photos, Ribbit.
like, you know, just like, there's always a way. There's always a way. As long as you're polite.
I've had her on the show. We talked about it. She's like my 6th episode, and I'm
Nice.
like, you wear these outfits. These outfits are like awesome and whatnot, but people are inappropriate.
Yes.
And like people come up, they want to put their hand on you and stuff like that. Just like, let's talk about that. You know,
Yeah.
cosplay's not consent.
Yeah.
And I force them like, if you see a cosplayer sitting down, eating,
Don't bother
don't
them.
bother them.
Let them freaking
It's
eat.
the first time they've eaten in 12 hours.
Yeah.
But I try to make that. I try to make that known, like, you know, public. Cosplay's not a consent. How to approach somebody.
love that.
You know, like ask like, can I put my arm around you? Because you can't do that with a lot of celebrities when you're taking photos with them. They're like, oh, it's just. And a lot of celebrities, they will hover.
Yep.
I'd be like, okay, here, cool. And I'm starting to do that with people.
Celebrities taking pictures with
Other
fans.
people, yeah, fans.
Yeah.
They'll be like
They'll
this.
like put their arm.
They'll put arm there, but they won't touch them. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, just like that. Don't touch. Just do it like
Because people
this.
don't know how to pose sometimes.
No.
I was just watching the Dallas Cowboys cheerleader
documentary.
and they always had the people pose with the footballs because it was like
Keep their
men
hands.
don't know how to pose in a photo without putting their arm around someone's waist sometimes
Yeah.
because they're just like, what do I do with my hands?
Well, Disney taught me to give them a pose. Like if I'm in like my Purple Jasmine cosplay, I'll be like, "Oh, that's a great idea, but why don't you pose like the genie? And may I put my hands on your shoulder?" You know, if you give them the proper pose, 9 times out of 10 they'll do it.
Totally.
Or Disney also taught me that you want to have both hands in the photo because you don't want someone going up to like someone who runs the con saying like, "This girl touched me inappropriate," if your hand's behind them. So I always try to pose with my hands in the photo.
Interesting.
Do you know what I mean?
Very
Like not
interesting.
behind. Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be a little tricky depending on what you're dressed as, but like, I mean, you're in the big hoop skirts, so it's easier for you to kind of have some distance between you
The
and the
hoop
guest.
really blocked me from everybody.
So just always like when you do your like character development studying on like, oh, Luigi poses like this.
Yeah.
Just always like come and like look around to see like how he's posing next to people and then give people that pose.
Oh, that's great.
Like the arm fold is great for any character. Or like the hands on the hips, like the Peter Pan is always a good one. I don't know. You can do like a weird shake with them too, but like I don't like touching people's hands at the con
Yeah.
either. So
So many hands.
I also
at the
have a
end of
rule
the
where I
day.
won't touch their phones too. Like if they hand me a phone to take a photo, like say Cosmo comes up to me, says, "Hey, will you take a photo of me with Meg?"
Yeah.
And he goes to hand me the phone. I'll say like, "Ooh, I'm sorry. I won't touch your phone."
Yeah.
That's something I will not do. Because one,
for
if you
you.
break it, it's
Yeah.
on you.
Are you?
Two,
Is it more the breaking or the germs?
it's both.
Yeah.
It's like, because you don't know what they're watching on their phone and what they're doing with their other hand.
Oh,
Like, so that's one
love
reason.
that your mind goes there. Though.
I know.
Well, a lot
It's
of men also
it's
don't
at a
wash their
distance and
hands.
it's tilted. All right. That's
Is it though? Is it though?
oh man.
I don't want to think about it,
Yeah.
but I've thought about it.
I remember like in 2020 when all of a sudden it was like, you guys, our phones are gross. And I
yeah.
even had like this like blue light phone sanitizing machine or something.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know if it
Japan has like stations for
Yep.
for your phones.
Put it in
just
the-
to,
Well,
like, put
we're
it
about
in.
to find out when we go.
Oh yeah.
It's like a toaster. You like put your phone in a toaster and it like goes in and pops out the other end.
Japan has that. In
Yeah.
in,
A
like,
lot
their
of like
subway
a
stations?
lot of subway stations, businesses, places like that.
What?
Oh yeah. Oh,
People are filthy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all got COVID at San Diego Comic Con.
Yeah, I got it hard.
I didn't. Thank God.
You didn't?
I've dodged
I
it
got hit.
since it started.
It was rough. I don't know what this variant is called, but she got me. She came for me.
She's probably blonde.
She might be. She's probably a blonde ass bitch. For the record, I love blondes now, by the way.
We love you.
It's just such a weird thing.
I will do everything I can to heal that trauma in you.
The fact that you both even came here, I'm like, yeah,
Totally. Duh. We're stoked to be here.
The fact that you have a blonde on your podcast.
Yeah.
I know. Growth. My therapist
Totally
would be so
growth.
proud of me.
Oh my gosh.
Look at this girl. I met with her.
But you're like prettier than my stepmom, so that also is another thing.
Stop.
You know what I mean? Like, sorry, bitch. I don't even think she like follows me anymore. She probably did at one point, but
That's so funny.
yeah, it's a journey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, life is a journey, and if you can self-reflect and realize that sometimes you're a shitbag, you're doing good.
Amen, baby.
Because everybody's got a little bit of shitbag in them, and everybody has a little bit of narcissist in them.
Yeah.
Yes.
100%. And if you don't think you do, you're probably the biggest narcissist you know.
Ooh. That's a good.
That's a hot
tidbit.
take.
That's
All your fans are now like unsubbed.
Oh.
But like the minute that you recognize that like we all do, we all, even if it's like this big, we
Yeah.
all like attention. There's nothing wrong with admitting that. Like we all love when someone pays us attention.
And that's
Yeah,
okay.
right, period.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Therapy.
Any final thoughts, Dare?
Subscribe. Subscribe to the podcast. If you're not, what are you doing?
Delulu Canoe.
Oh yeah, and my
Yeah.
podcast too.
Yeah.
I was talking about yours.
No, I'm talking about
I was like, subscribe.
any other final thoughts, final words, other plugs.
Just like shoot your shot. Like if you don't reach out and you don't like become like that's how we became friends.
Yeah.
Is that you shot your shot, you came up and said hi. Like don't ever be afraid to
I
say
ended
hi
the
to
conversation
people.
appropriately at your booth.
You
And
did. You didn't touch me inappropriately.
Great.
You know, be mindful though, like with your shot. Like if someone says no to you, never take a no as a definite. Like be respectful of that and try again later on. But also just like go for it. Like go for your dreams. Because you never know where it's gonna end you.
Yeah.
You could be on your friend's podcast or on their show or in their event if you try.
True. Or at their birthday party.
Or at their birthday party.
You never know.
Girl. I'm a matchmaker now.
Yep.
Yeah, you are.
So we also just went on Dare's podcast before we shot for ours. So make sure you go listen to Delulu Canoe anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Please do. We need some more girly pops.
Yeah, girly pops. Go
When we
over
were
to
talking
Delulu.
about collabing, it's like, oh, all of our listeners are pretty much female, except our like 4 male listeners. So
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'll be number 5.
Number 5.
Yay,
Yeah.
Cosmo! Yeah, go listen to Cosmoe Show too.
Yes.
The
Yes.
Cosmoe Show.
The Cosmo Show on YouTube. Check it out.
Yep.
Check it out.
And don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the Traumedy Show and give us 5 stars. And follow us on TikTok and Instagram at the.traumedy.show. Thanks so much for coming, Dare.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
And Cosmo.
All right, bye.
Bye.